I rise to join the Minister for Police in a very fitting tribute to Bria, and I know that many in the community would have been listening and hearing the words there from the Minister, and I know they reflect across the entire Parliament, and to all of the first responders who had to attend a tragic accident up in Mildura. It was obviously the death of Bria and with Tom in the car. I had the start of this to talk about Bria and her number 42368. And the number from a police officer is more than just a number. It is your membership to a family that lives with you forever. And still today, every time you speak to any police officer, the first thing they ask is, what was your number? 42368 is a number that we should all never forget in the future. I was going to go through the record of service as well, but rather than go through the whole lot, I'll acknowledge that she had a very short service and an amazing time of what she achieved in that short period of time within the Victoria Police. But Bria was known lovingly by her family as the $1 Million Baby on account of her allergies that she had. She was bright and bubbly and described as a real country girl. Bria was a much-loved, active and passionate member of her local community. Bria's friends, family and colleagues could always rely on her to be there when they needed her. And that is an amazing trait to have. As a young girl, she was sporty, musical, she volunteered her time sewing pouches for orphan Joeys. So from a young age, she was always a person that wanted to give back and serve, leading to her time in the Victoria Police that is all about giving back and supporting your community. Anytime someone goes to work and doesn't return home, it's tragic. But from the people I've spoken to and with, Bria's death has hit particularly hard. The 25-year-old had been a police officer for just 6 years. But even in that short time in her policing, she's left a very, very memorable impact. As the Minister has mentioned, she was off duty when she rescued a young girl struggling in the Murray River and didn't tell her colleagues about it. It's just something that she did to give back. But the father of that girl said it would have been disastrous if Bria wasn't there. It was just an example of a person who puts others first. At the celebration of Bria's life, Kyle spoke through grief from his heart. He spoke of Bria's bold, brave, passionate approach to everything she applied herself to. Kyle reflected not only on how much they shared in their 3 years together, but also how much Bria had impacted on his life and how much she had packed into her life. Alana Downey from Bria's squad spoke of the fact that her squad family fell instantly in love with her. Alana remarked that when Bria joined the squad, it was the luckiest day of their lives. That just shows you how much of an impact Bria had on those around her, and Alana recounted that even though Bria was bright and bubbly, she was as tough as nails and worked hard at everything she did. Chief Commissioner Shane Patton spoke at the funeral service about the impact of Bria's passing had on her colleagues. And as a former serving police member myself, I am acutely aware of the dangers faced by members each and every shift and the trauma that can ensure. Any time a police member has to attend a fatal accident is traumatic. But when that accident involves one of your own colleagues, it is even more so. And with no disrespect to any person in here today, there is a couple in this place who are former police officers, and it does impact you just that little bit more, knowing someone from that police family has been lost. Reverend Jin Jong, Senior Police Chaplain, spoke wonderfully at Bria's funeral. He reminded those in attendance of Bria's strength, characteristics and values that while she wasn't with us anymore, they remain with us and we can learn. Before I read the police ode to honour the life of Bria, I want to send our strength and support also from the whole Parliament to Thomas Kinane, or Tom. Tom was in the car with Bria on that evening, and Tom was in my sister's squad in 2001. I've been speaking to him over the last few weeks, and he has an exceptionally long road to recovery. But on behalf of myself, I'm sure the Minister will join me and every person in this place, Tom, to you and your family, we send our strength and our support as you face a battle to get back to where you want to be, and we thank you for everything you've done in our community. And for Bria, as the sun surely sets, dawn will see it arise, for service above self demands its own prize. You have fought the good fight, life's race has been run, and peace your reward for eternity begun. And we that are left shall never forget. Rest in peace, friend and colleague, for the sun has now set. To Bria's friends, family and colleagues, if they happen to be watching this or reading it at any time, it's also a reminder to them it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be hurting from the loss of Bria. Remember, there are people who are there to support you. So please reach out, whether it's someone in here, the police association, or someone in your community. Share your grief, share the loss of Bria together, and make sure that you keep those memories alive, because that will be what makes the difference. And from all of us in here, in this place, we are thinking of you. Rest in peace, Senior Constable Bria Kathleen Joyce, 42368.